Hello, it's Aviator Joe, and today I'm going to discuss how I came to my light sport aircraft purchase decision. I talked about why I was going from ultralight back to light sport in my previous video, link in the description. A couple of years ago, I seriously evaluated planes like the CGS Hawk, RANs, and other ripstop and tube planes that used high-end two-stroke or low-power four-stroke engines. I decided they were not enough of an improvement in speed and range. Also, and this is strictly perception, I felt that my passengers would feel more confident in a more quote-unquote solid-looking plane. I also briefly considered getting a used LSA, but dismissed that out of hand for a couple of reasons. One, I don't want to inherit someone else's problems. Even with a thorough pre-buy inspection, it's entirely possible that a serious issue goes unnoticed. Second, and more importantly, this was going to be the plane for me. I want it to be used as a headstone for my grave. Okay, maybe not, but I don't plan on buying something better in the future. So I wanted to buy as much plane as I could afford now. One of the first planes I considered was the Aerotrek 240. However, Aerotrek informed me that they had at least a 16-month lead time for a new plane. Additionally, Aerotrek's standard avionics offerings were AV Map, GRT, FunkWorks, and iPad-based navigation solutions. All are cost-effective, but I wanted a more advanced and integrated panel. Another plane I had very seriously considered was the Skyre Bushcat. It's built like a tank and has a fair number of options available. I reached out to the U.S. distributor trying to set up some transition training at their facility. Unfortunately, by the time their local CFI got back to me, I had already made my decision. Which, of course, is the Airbus A22LS. The A22LS checks many items on my must-have list. It's constructed mostly of aluminum. It has almost a helicopter-like view thanks to the copious amount of glazing in the cockpit. There are many options available for the airframe, the avionics, and the engine. Of course, the elephant in the room is the fact that Aeroprat itself is located near Kiev, Ukraine. I did a lot of research into what was happening there and how it was affecting production. Turns out, other than closing a few weeks at the start of hostilities, Aeroprat has been churning out planes on a regular basis. Another big plus for me was the choice of engine, which was the Rotex 912 series. I was very familiar with that engine, having flown many hours behind one. Even though it was a big jump in cost, I decided to get the 912 IS version. Two reasons: ease of use and redundancy. Computer-controlled fuel injection takes care of my mixture no matter what the altitude or atmosphere condition. And there are two of everything: 2 generators, 2 engine control units, 2 fuel pumps, and 2 of every sensor. I like the A22's flight characteristics. The flaperons really help with control at low speeds. The control feel is well harmonized, and while very responsive, it's not overly sensitive. Full flap stall speed is only 32 knots, so landings are benign. I decided to go with the full Donon HDX system with the larger screen. I like the integrated nature of the system and the ability to control things like the radio from the PFD or the separate radio control panel. I also got the control knob panel for altitude, heading, and barometric changes. For backup, I have an analog airspeed indicator, altimeter, and slip indicator. I'll go into more detail on the options I chose and why I chose them in a future video. Be sure to subscribe, and if you like this video, please like and comment below. Happy landings!